I'm back on site. We've been away for about a week and there's been a change since we've been away. Yes, we have a scaffold now and I've got to give it the once over, just go over it, have a look, make sure it's all in the right place. I'm sure it is. We spent a bit of time working out the height of it based on the heights of the new roofs, etc. And we're going to get in there and we're going to start taking the tiles off. We're going to stack them, move them out of our way because they're going to be reused. We're actually going to get additional tiles to match these. We've managed to source them because again there's shortages of all kinds of materials at the moment. We have managed to source what we need of these tiles, so we'll get them on site as well, so they're here. So the first job is getting all of that stripped off, then we'll strip the battens off, then we'll strip the felt off, then the rafters, all the plasterboard, the insulation, the electrics, everything's coming out. And so we've got a nice couple of weeks work ahead of us. Well, that's it. The roof's gone. All I have left is a small area of ceiling joists, stroke floor joists in this section, which the engineer is going to check and make sure we can leave them, because we can then leave the hallway, the bedroom underneath, and the ensuite bathroom virtually intact. If I take them off, it's just going to be majorly disruptive. So fingers crossed that that is the case. I'm really happy with everything, how it's gone. It's all shaping up really nicely. We've got the demolition done, as I say, all the roofs are gone. We've got to sort out these external walls because they're all a little bit on the naff side. Chimney stack's going to have some revision done to it. But apart from that, we are on track to get the brickies back on site. They're going to get the new build section up to wall plate level. We've got to sort out, as I say, the existing walls to the new wall plate level. It's not a lot. We're only putting about 150 to 200 mil of wall on top of there. And then we will get the joists on site and start building all of this lovely new structural floor ready for the roof. Welcome back to the Big Build, and this is a really exciting day for me because our scaffold lid that you see behind us, which has been here for around about 20 weeks now, I'd say, in fact probably a little bit less than that, probably about 18 weeks, is coming off. So what that means is we're just taking the top layer off and reducing the lifts, if you like, the bits that go around, down to a level that we need just to finish the roof off. We've got quite a lot of the roof done. What we like to do is get it all felt and battened in the dry and then take that roof off and then finish the tiling, because obviously if you tile it all and the guys, the scaffolders, need to climb up our structure to help get some of their big beams down, it's quite a tough job that, then obviously we like to give them the opportunity to climb up our battens, so access their work from our work, if you like. So the guys are going to be here today. They're going to be taking it all off, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what it looks like when I come back later on today to see, you know, what the big build looks like. It's kind of like an unveiling. I know I can sort of see it, but it's really nice to be able to sort of look at it without the lid on as well. It doesn't look so industrial then. Now, I just want to talk a little bit about the benefits of having a temporary roof. So if you're a homeowner or a builder and you're embarking on a project which is going to involve stripping roofs, it's going to involve exposing your building to the elements, and it doesn't matter what time of year. If you think I'm going to do a job in the summer, okay, it's more likely to be less rain, but I've done jobs before and in the middle of August we've had an inch of rain in 1 hour, and that can be absolutely devastating because you just cannot cover something quick enough. And an inch of rain in an hour, and that was in South London probably about 15 years ago. It was so much rain that the ceiling boards were filling up between the joists. It couldn't escape quick enough. It was absolutely a nightmare. So anyway, so I would always say consider it. Now, what does it cost? Now, a scaffold like this, let's say the normal scaffold costs you £3,000 to go around a building like this. A scaffold with a temporary roof like this is going to cost you more like £10,000 or £12,000. Now, yes, it's a lot of money, but in this case, we have not lost a day to the weather. And the weather here has been quite rainy at times. We've had some storms and all the rest of it. And at least it means that when you've got 4 or 5 guys and we're doing work which is weather dependent, someone somewhere is paying them day work, whether it's the client, whether it's you as a contractor, and if they turn up and can't really do a full day, that comes out of your bottom line at the end of the day. And if you're a client and you're thinking to yourself, I want to save a bit of money, a lot of builders I know don't like taking work on where they're at risk, because it always comes back onto the builder. Oh, you should have put more tarpaulins on, you should have sheeted it up better and all the rest of it. And it's really difficult. The amount of time lost to putting the tarpaulin on, trying to attach it, taking that tarpaulin off. Some days if it looks a bit like today, a bit grey, you think, shall we really take the tarpaulin off? Let's try and find something to do. You're building out a sink. You're not actually doing things in a cost-effective fashion. And I reckon that the only way to cost a job is to cost it for producing your work. Obviously you have a margin for profit and all the rest of it, unforeseens. But I can only do that by having a temporary roof, because I know how much it's going to cost me at the beginning of the job. I know I'm not necessarily going to lose any time for weather, and I haven't got to spend all that time covering up, uncovering, covering up, uncovering, and the cost of the tarpaulins, because if you put a tarpaulin on, it's very hard to tie them to anything. You generally put battens through them, nail the battens in, and then the next thing you know, the next day you take them off and they've got a tear and a rip and the water comes through, and it's just a nightmare. So I like it. I think it's a really good idea to get a temporary roof. The scaffolding is expensive now, the boards, the tubes, everything like that's gone up in price. I do feel for the guys, the scaffolders, because they're putting work up as well, and then people are saying we can't get our roof tiles for 26 weeks at the moment, and so the scaffolders then are in a position where if they're lucky enough they could probably charge a bit of rent on it, but if not, they've got to sit there and think, well, when am I going to get my scaffold back? So I do feel for the scaffolding community at the moment, as I do all the builders who are suffering because of price increases, lack of availability of products and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, I'll be back later on to see just exactly what it looks like without the roof here at the Big Build. Well, I'm back from my little departure, left the guys to it. Here we go, it's like an unveiling, look at that, look. How pleasing is that? I can actually see the Big Build in all its glory now, and I can't wait to get the rest of those tiles on the roof there. I've got some big solar panels to go in. I've got 9 in one position and 4 in another, and they're going to provide loads of off-grid energy for the Big Build. We're also going to store unused electricity in a battery backup, sort of like a Tesla, and it might even be a Tesla, who knows yet. And this is what the Big Build is looking like. You can see that we did a little bit of tiling while we waited for the scaffolders to arrive, but we didn't want to go too far because we didn't want the scaffolders to have to be worried about smashing or damaging anything. There was a little bit of damage. They broke a ridge tile on the front dormer, but that's to be expected when you consider how much metalwork they had to remove from above. So I'm really looking forward to getting the rest of the roof covered in, get the windows in this week, get the cladding on the gables, the cladding on the dormers, and then it's all gonna look absolutely sweet. Get the rest of the scaffold down out the way, and then we can put the gutters up, the gutter pipes, and we are officially in the dry, envelope finished, and we just need to finish the inside, which is the easy bit. Well, I hope you enjoyed that little scaffolding reveal. I'm certainly looking forward to getting this job wrapped up and finished.